And welcome back to Shuffle. And we are definitely on the Nerine path because that showed up. And that's another thing that I need to remind you. Like I mentioned in the last part, we're going from 6 to 9, which is basically like June, July, August, and September. So we're going from June to September during this run. The next one I'll probably do would be either Kaide or Primula. And hers is shorter. So, doing so, let's load back up to the start of here.
まあ、というわけでだ。本日よりプール開きと相なるわけだが。
You know what? I'm surprised that she wasn't even an option to be dated. 'Cause I mean, like, look at that. Excuse me.
人間には三大欲求の他に理性というものが存在することを忘れないように。いいな、緑場。
何女子、今の言い方だと俺様だけが異常性欲の持ち主だという風に聞こえるんですけれど。
You are.
ああ、そいつはすまんな。少しわかりにくかったか。
さすがはベニー女子、話がわかりますね。
だからズバリその通りだと言ってるんだよ。
With great teacher Nadeshiko's words. I see the reference they were doing. Great teacher Onizuka. The Verbena Academy pool was open. It was hot, and the weather was beautiful. And students who've been waiting impatiently for this moment scrambled to leap into the inviting blue water. Reserved wild child.
やっぱり夏といえばプールと海、それと祭りにかけ終わりよね。
To be perfectly honest, I never had shaved ice before. I mean, actual shaved ice. I never had that.
あさちゃんは夏が大好きですものね。もちろん。日本人として生まれたからにはやっぱり夏が似合わないと。
I don't quite get your reasoning, but I fully agree with your opinion.
同じく激しく同意だね。やはり夏、薄着になる夏、水着の夏、素晴らしきプロポーションが惜しげもなくさらけ出される夏。
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah.
特に今日は学園の綺麗どころがほぼ全員勢ぞろい。今日この日のために生きてきたって言ってもいいね、俺様は。
I'm pretty sure it was, yes. Stop before you do something illegal. I felt I probably thought the same thing last year as well. This was the season I most liked to pretend I didn't know it's a game.
どうかなお嬢さん方。もしよろしければ俺様と一緒に。ああ、ダメか。仕方ないね、それじゃ。
It's gonna be a resounding no.
いやー、確か隣のクラスの毒人参さんだよね。どうだい？俺様だったら君の自己ベストを5秒は。
It's okay, stop. This is not Escaflowne. Please stop. Please stop. This is not the vision of Escaflowne. Do not mess this up, man.
緑はナンパをするなとは言わんからもう少しくらい遠慮しろ
It reminded you of that phrase, like a fish takes to water, going into battle among the girls at the poolside. You could see that this was the true meaning of life for him. Lifesaver. Sorry, coming! I can see Shia enjoying herself in the water. I raised my hand to wave back at and made my way over to her side of the pool. Totally reserved and... When I got there, everyone was having a great time.
ねえラリー君、なんで休みに入ってからプール開きなの？深海でもいろいろ人間界のこと調べてきたけど、他の学校ってもっと早いよね。
For that, you'll want to ask my unit.
はいはい、お任せなのですよ。まあ、シアちゃんの言う通り、本来ならこんな時期のプール開きっていうのは十分遅いわけ。でもね、これには2つほど理由があるのですよ。一つは季節の問題。我が国には6月下旬から7月上旬まで梅雨という時期があるわけなのですが、見ての通り、当学園のプールには屋根がございません。これだけのプールを作っておいて、なんで屋根がないのかわからないけれど、そのために天気の不安定な時期には中止になる場合も多々あるわけでして。どうせ濡れるんだし、別に中止にしなくたっていいのに。雨でも雷でもどんと来いよね。さすがに雷はまずいのでは。
Maybe.
で、もう一つが学校行事の問題。私たち学生にとって最も大切で最も恐ろしい行事、すなわちテスト。7月に入るとすぐ試験前になっちゃうわけじゃない？
In our world, when July comes, that means Anime Expo, which I normally go to, but sometimes I just don't want to go. The crowds get worse every year. The prices skyrocket. And sometimes I feel the need I really want to cook. I mean, really, really cook.
で、テストが終わればすぐに夏休み。つまりは7月あたりに開放したところでテスト勉強がおろそかになるだけで意味がないと。まあ、以上の理由により、この学園のプール開きは夏休みに入ってからというわけなのですよ。まあ、9月になれば水泳の授業もあるけどね。なんか納得できるようなできないような微妙な理由。
Don't worry, in short, she means school's only for a certain cycle. It's not like you have semesters in which you come in July, if you come in it's September, ends in December, and then you have to come back in July, and then the longest one is not July. You would come, normally a new semester would start from September to July. I'm going to say July. And then after that, you know, there's a break in between September and January. Then January has the longest running thing because you got tests and terms Why they exist, I have no clue. Never mind. But I do think opening it up to students like this is better than forcing us to swim in class.
佐久間。そういえば、リンさんって今日は来られないんですか？あ、ピーちゃん少し遅れるって言ってた。なんか準備に手間取ってるみたい。
That's unusual. Nerine's usually the type to prepare everything the day before.
まあ、女の子の準備にいろいろありますから。リン様、お待たせしました。
I heard a familiar voice behind me. It seemed at last the lady had arrived. I had to admit, the male urges inside me felt a certain excitement at the prospect of seeing Nerine in a swimsuit, and I turned around. Hi, Nerine, you made it. Ow! Yeah, you can see right there it says to be na ne re ne in all her glory. The entire pool area fell into silence so deep it was like time had stopped. All because of this unbelievable sight. Ne? What exactly is that swimsuit?
やっぱりどこか変でしょうか。
No. I wouldn't say we're just...
お父様が学園指定の水着といえばこれしかないと。
Really? Certainly not at any elementary or middle school, that's for sure. What school was he talking about?
人間界で一番流行している水着だそうですし。
He went by style? Oh my god. You poor girl. Well, by some definitions of the word popular, she was right, but...
その、きっとリン様も喜んでくださるからという話だったのですが。
He said that? That dirty old Demon King! He knew exactly what he was doing here!
リン様、やっぱり。
No, I mean if you asked if it looks good, definitely it does. It's just... In fact, the problem was it looked too good. What I mean to say is... It's... Nerine! Do you have any other swimsuits?
一応持ってきてますけれど、その、この水着だと胸の部分が少し恥ずかしかったので。
Okay, so she's self-aware of that. Okay. Did you pick out the other one for yourself?
はい、リン様に見ていただけたらと思って。
Really? In that case, I want to see that one, since you picked it out with me in mind. When Nerine saw my smile on her face, which had been shadowed, I swear this is really irking me out right now. The grammar here is just really irking me out. When Nerine saw my smile, her face, which had been shadowed with embarrassment, bloomed into a smile. I swear to God, I'm reading this. I'm like, when Nerine saw my smile, comma. Her face, comma, which had been shadowed. It's just bringing out Mr. Izzy. I do not like that. It's like, so please. Like, please, just don't do that. For all future purposes, whenever I do a visual novel and I get this sort of way, I'm sorry, but do not make any grammatic errors when you're trying to do a visual novel of this kind, and you base it off an anime. Make sure you proofread, please. Do not make me have to proofread. Okay, please. Developers out there, please do not make me have to proofread. I love your stories, but for God's sakes, please put in the time and the effort to please proofread. Okay? Thank you. She headed into the changing room. As she left, I heard a huge sigh from the pool.
まあ、今のはナイス判断と言うべきかな。
You shut up. Itsuki, are you okay?
なんとかね。リンこそよく無事だったね。
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Luckily, my shock won out. As we spoke, we sank to the ground, finally returning to their senses. The girls began to talk about what had happened.
なんていうか、あの生々しさは一種の犯罪だね。さすがの俺様も言葉を失ったよ。
I mean, you would think she was bare ass naked. In any case, I gotta talk to that old devil king.
さすがにね。
Because this is just... We sighed heavily. I turned my eyes to the pool. At some point, it had become crowded with bent-over boys. Oh yeah, we're nearly there now. I didn't have anything to do. I had no errands or plans. I simply wandered out of the house. It was exactly how you would define the term free time. Thinking that if I simply walked along, something interesting would come up, but it was an act of leaving my future up to fate. However, it looked like fate was on my side today. I chuckled inwardly at the sight of the girl walking in front of me. Hey, Nerine! Nerine looked genuinely happy when she recognized me. She jogged over to join me. And tripped on the way. Are you okay? You shouldn't run like that. Oh! Worried, I walked toward Nerine and froze in my tracks. Her slender legs were splayed wide open. Her skirt written up, and I thought I could see through her thin summer stockings a little bit of something white. Oh, sorry. Hi. Seeming not to realize the position she was in, Nerine cocked her head. No, it's just, I wouldn't say there's nothing wrong exactly. I knew I shouldn't, but my eyes were still drawn to that spot over and over. I truly was a stereotypical teenage boy. They suited her. She must not like anything too flashy. Yes! She finally saw where I was looking, and her pale cheeks turned scarlet. Yes, I do. I'm really just trying to swallow how much blush I am feeling right now. Well, I was born this way, so.
そうですよね。男の方なんですから。
Yes, could yeah.
ですから。
You want me to put the monster away? Sure, gladly.
つまりは、事故で空発的なものだと思いますし、決してリー様が悪いわけではありませんから。
I totally agree. She didn't even seem to know what she was saying. She simply looked up at me with her face flushed, rambling. So this was... no? It's okay. It's fine. Just get up, please. It's okay. Just so please cover up. I can't look away.
はい。
Seeming to have calmed down, Nerine hurriedly closed her legs. It's not time yet. I held out my hand awkwardly, helping her up.
それでは、失礼します。
Okay. She left in a rush, as if running away, and I couldn't say another word to her. What could I say? It was an experience I was going to treasure. Oh yeah, we're definitely going right into it right now. Weak like a doll, the girl crumpled up on the cracked earth. Even her small foothold melted away and disappeared. The girl's motionless body was the only thing visible in that dark nothingness. Her pale skin stood out against the black, and her purple hair, tied in two pigtails, rippled out through the darkness. No. I murmured the girl's name. There was no reply. Primula? Holding up her small body, I called her name again. There was no reflection in her eyes. Like a broken toy, her arms hung listless, swaying in space, and her eyes were blank, reflecting nothingness. Primula. No matter how many times I called her name, she didn't reply. I felt no warmth, no sign of consciousness, as if she were a doll. A manufactured doll. Like a puppet whose strings were cut. She didn't move anymore. The light streaming in front of me. The light streaming in from the window burned my eyes. My shirt was soaked with sweat, and all I could feel was discomfort. I sat up and gazed blankly at the wall in front of me. It must have been a dream. I looked down at my hands, reassured that there was no purple-haired girl there. I was thankful not to be in that dark place anymore. Looks like she went out with Kaede. Wanted to see Primula, I went to her room. But there was just a dreary, barely lived-in atmosphere. It was just a dream. I probably dreamed that because of the conversation with the old Devil King and God King. Primula and her adopted older sister, who I assumed was dead. Though they were made differently, it didn't rule out the possibility that what happened to her could happen to Primula. I stopped myself. Thinking about that would only make me feel depressed. I sighed and headed back to my room. The Primula in my dream was basically a doll. The girl who looked like a doll turned into a doll. A clone. A doll without life. And a moving doll. A manufactured doll. It was the first time I became conscious of the fact that Primula's existence had been manufactured. That fact had cast a shadow of unease inside me. That purple-haired girl who could suddenly collapse one day like a wind-up toy had come unwound. A vague dark shadow of uneasiness clung to me. Though the morning was comparatively cool, it was still the height of summer. The temperature was still seasonally high. If I stayed inside, I knew I'd just dwell on dark thoughts and feel worse. Going outside would provide some distraction, so I ventured out into the summer sun. And that's the reason why, whenever I feel like I need to go outside, I will go outside. Especially if if I feel like I've been cooped up in the house all day. I will usually just get out just to get out. Just stay out for a while. And, gather myself and just make myself feel out. Just like that. But let me tell you, you be inside too long, you will go crazy. That's why you really do need to go outside every so often. Just so you will not go crazy. The next moment, a familiar large frame leaped into my line of sight.
Yo, Rindano. 聞いてるぜ。栗村のやつとうまくやれてるらしいじゃねえか。
Well. He gave me his usually lively grin and a forced smile, and I forced a smile as I greeted him. That was right. Primula had been made by both the god and demon realms. In which case, wouldn't the old god king know something about her? Do you happen to know about clones? It was a joint project between the god and demon realms, right?
まあな。これでも一応は深海の最高責任者だぜ。
Uh-huh. In that case, could you tell me a little bit about the clones? I know there were 3 of them, and I know 2 of them are most likely dead now. Why did they die? Will Primula end up like them too? The image of the young girl turned to a doll. In the darkness was still in the back of my mind. Not seeing, not hearing, not speaking. It was just like the sight I hate to see 8 years ago. When we get to K-Day, that'll be explained. At my question, the old god king stroked his chin, looking like he was thinking about something.
なるほどね。さすがに魔法のやつもその辺は教えてなかったか。
Is it something I shouldn't hear?
どちらかといえばまずい話だが。そうだな。そのくらいならリンダのも知る権利があんだろう。
His face darkened for just a moment. With no trace of his usual smile, he spoke with total seriousness.
まずは最初の質問だがな。そいつは簡単なことだ。体が耐えきれなかったのさ。
Couldn't bear it?
人工生命体の作られた理由、そいつは聞いてるが。
Yeah, in order to research a certain kind of magic, you needed a huge amount of magic power.
そうだ。つまり人工生命体ってのが強大な魔力を持っていることが最低条件になる。なら、どうすりゃ強大な魔力の持ち主が作れるのか。最初の1人目は強化だった。魔族の中から1人を選抜し、その力を特殊な方法で無理やりに引き上げる。ま、結果は言わずもがな、だな。魔力そのものは確かに引き上げられたんだが、何分、それを扱う器が小さすぎた。一魔族に扱いきれる限界をはるかに超えた魔力に、その体は耐えきれなかった。その失敗を受けて作られた2人目は複製だ。人間界でいうところのクローンってやつだな。
We're still not talking about cloning.
もともと強大な魔力を持った魔族の遺伝子を改造し、強大な魔力を持たせ育て上げる。
It feels more like it's they're making test tube babies.
異世界屈指の魔力とそれを制御できるだけの器。もともとの素質を育て強化し、限界以上の魔力を制御できる力をつけさせるって予定だったんだが、複製された遺伝子ってのが予想以上に劣化が激しくてな。途中まではいい線いってたんだが、結局失敗だ。どちらも強大な魔力を持たせちまったはいいが、それを扱いきれる器を用意できなかったってわけだ。
So Primula will also.
慌てんなって。で、二つ目の質問、プリムラについてなんだが。
That wasn't the answer I was looking for? Okay.
おそらくは問題ない。前の2つの失敗を受けて作られた3人目。その方法はな、生産だ。親族と魔族を超える魔力を持ち、それを扱いきれる器を持った新しい生命体をゼロから作り上げたとさ。
Reminds me of Alia from Dune. She's like, you know, the smallest, but she was the most powerful in the family. Just because of the mixture of the Bene Gesserit and the Duke. Yeah. Because, you know, Paul was already like entitled to being the Kwisatz Haderach. Go figure. That's what it just reminds me of. It reminds me of Dune. From scratch. Is that even possible?
普通なら無理だ。だがな、いくつもの失敗といくつもの偶然、そしていくつもの奇跡。それらがたまたま綺麗に混ざり合って、天文学的数字の確率を拾い上げた。
Slim. Very, very slim.
つまりだ。プリムラってのは奇跡の具現化。もう一度作ろうとしたって絶対にできる。替えの利かないたった一人の実験体なんだよ。
When you really think about it like that, I think that's how I was. I was basically the third out of 3 boys. The original 2 brothers that I was going to have, they died stillbirth. I'm the one who basically survived. Out of 3 brothers, I'm the one who basically survived. Isn't that just funny? One of a kind.
まあ、そういうわけで、プリムラのやつは必要以上に大事に育てられてきたわけなんだが、ちと大事にしすぎたみたいだな。あんな風になっちまった。期待してるぜ、リン殿。あの無感情娘のことをしっかり面倒見てくれよな。
Ow. Ow. The old god king gave a big grin, slapped me on the back, and left. One of a kind. So that's why they were so protective of her. Normally, you wouldn't go out of your way to protect an experiment. The girl without feelings, without blood relations, without family. The girl who lived life just being pulled along. Primula. Despite her expressionless face, I felt like I could see something deep within her. Deep in her purple eyes. I could sometimes see a light of loneliness. The way she smiled when I gave her the stuffed animal. I want to see that smile again. I want it from the bottom of my heart.
おや、りんちゃんじゃないか。買い物かね。
Hey. Primula and the Devil King. Not often I see you two together.
そうかい？ま、さすがにこの人間界を何も知らないというわけにはいかないからね。時々こうやってプリムラを連れ出させてもらってるのさ。
I think I'm gonna go for 3 days. I mean, it's only fair. Plus, they go by just like that. 3-4 days. I think that's good.
カエルちゃんにはちゃんと話してあるから安心してくれたのね。
リン、安心していい。
ああ、魔王様、今日もありがとうございます。いつもの席空いてますから、ゆっくりしていてくださいね。
確かに受けたまわった。ゆっくりさせてもらおう。
As he spoke, the Devil King headed to a 4-person window table without hesitation. You come here a lot?
ああ、こっちに来た時には大抵使っているよ。
It's the uniforms, isn't it?
制服には宇宙の神秘があるんだよ、りんちゃん。
Time passes. Oh, yeah, there was something I wanted to ask you. It's about Nerine's singing.
ねりねちゃんの歌のことかい？
She's got such a beautiful voice. Why is she so against singing for people?
あんなにということは、兄ちゃんは聞いたことがあるのかい？
Only once. Yeah, the day we met again by chance.
それはまた運がいい。ねりねちゃんの歌なんて私たちですらほとんど聞いたことがないくらいだからね。
I rarely sing myself. Don't ask me why, though. Even with you?
ねりねは歌わない。
Primrose spoke something. Though her face was as expressionless as usual, I felt like there was something a little different in her eyes.
ねりねは奪い取ったと思ってるから。
Stole it.
本当は。
残念だけれど、私たちから言えるのはそこまでだね。
Prim seemed ready to continue, but the old Devil King stopped her.
申し訳ないけど、それ以上は内緒だ。
It's a secret to everybody?
ねりねちゃんのためにも、できれば忘れてあげてくれないか。
With that mix of kindness and severity, he sounded close to subject. After that, the only thing I heard about was how wonderful the uniforms here were. We're into August now! We're closing in! Suddenly, I heard a melody. It was a voice I knew. A tune I knew. The pure, powerful sound would draw anyone in. The song. Could it be? The moment I realized, I took off running at full speed. To the same place I'd heard that song before. To the place that held special memories for its singer. The Requiem, sung by a girl who said she hated singing. What was she thinking? And what was she wishing for as she sang? What did she hate and what was she avoiding? I wanted to know. And more than anything, I wanted to hear the song up close. She was right where I thought she'd be. She sat on the swing, rocking slightly, and swung toward the sky. Her long hair blowing in the wind, she simply sang happily, enjoying herself. That's how she looks when she sings. There's no way she hates singing. Hiding near the entrance so I didn't interrupt, I silently listened to the angel's bell. The sound of the grass and the wind, the songs of birds and the sound of televisions from nearby houses, all of them disappeared. It was as if the whole world was listening to her song. Sort of mine had that effect too. Because of Lester's song. Yeah, that's how powerful it is. Eventually, quietly came to an end. The sounds of the world returned. Wonderful! Applauding, I showed myself in front of Nerine. Yeah, I'm a lucky guy to happen upon you singing when I'm out for a walk, not once, but twice! Only because if you saw me, you'd stop singing. While Nerine was lost for words in embarrassment, I spoke my mind. You were lying when you said you hate singing. Someone who hates singing just couldn't sing like that. Why would you say that you do? That's a double negative, dear. You love to sing, but you hate singing. She murmured. Her voice and her expression were despairing to a degree that I never had expected from Nerine. I couldn't understand what her feelings were toward singing, or where they were coming from. That said, Nerine ran from the park as if escaping it. Whose permission does she need just to sing? Wow, we're just going right. We're just okay, sure. If it's this short, we might as well just stretch it out for all it's worth, right? The blue water spread out before us. The dazzling sun danced across the surface of the waves. It was truly the symbol of summer. The beach was summer itself.
海だなあ。ああ、海だね。海だよな。ああ、海だとも。海と来たらまずやることは一つだよな。ああ、もちろんだともしんちゃん。さあ、今こそ一緒に。
Oh no.
と言ったら
Shia, did you pack a chair? That's all I want to know. Don't worry, this is pretty much what I expected. wasn't really a family trip anymore, but was that okay?
お二人とも元気ですよね。
Scary, right?
元気でいいの？こういう場合の言葉って。
I tend to agree.
お二人ともすっかり砂浜の人気者ですわね。視線を独り占めしてます。
Let them, please. Let them. Let them.
とりあえずあの二人の荷物は別の場所に分けとくわね。仲間って思われたくないし。
Everyone nodded in unison. More importantly, Mayu.
何？
What happened to summer school? Isn't it every day until vacation's over?
今年の夏風邪は厳しいのですよ。しっかり直しておきませんと。
Tanning as a cold treatment, huh? Your doctor must be doing well for himself.
風邪をひいたら温めないとね。
I could just see Miss Benny's smile in my mind's eye.
それじゃあ陣地の準備は俺様たちがしておくから女性陣は着替えてきてくれ。
へえ、さすが緑葉くん。女の子にも気が利くじゃない。
He's more horn dog than I am.
ですけど。
大丈夫大丈夫。女性は準備に時間がかかるからね。早く行ってくるといいよ。
Can't be helped, don't worry though. I'll make sure he doesn't try to peek at you.
さすが土見くん、よくお分かりで。
Of course, he's the worst friend I ever had.
それじゃあお願いね、りんちゃん。僕たち着替えてきちゃうから。
Taking their bags, the girls headed toward the changing rooms. Alright, let's get things ready. Can you get the mat out of that bag? Although it might have been better for them to stay a bit just to make it easier to get a spot suitable for everyone. Since they're no help.
ほらママ、待ちやれ。
Definitely no help.
捕まえられるものなら捕まえてみなよ、しんちゃん。
I am so glad this is not what I think it would be. If this was a yaoi, I would turn this shit off right now, I swear. I took back what I said. I didn't care if they were no help as long as they didn't come near us.
ダメだね。相変わらず分かってないな、リンは。
Huh? About what?
これだけ綺麗どころの揃った婦人。この海水浴場中探したところで他にはないよ。日本中探したところであるかどうか。だとしたら1分1秒でも早くその魅力的な水着姿を晒してもらわないと周囲の皆さんにも失礼じゃないか。
Everyone around us. Whoa! When I looked around again, I realized that among the crowds of beachgoers, most of the guys were looking our way. Their attention no doubt drawn by the girls.
理解したかい？
You're just gonna throw them to the wolves.
それを守るのは騎士の役目だろ、ナイト様。
Itsuki slapped me on the back. This jerk was totally planning to handle the trouble over me.
大丈夫。夏のメモリー記憶装置はバッチリだから。
You're such a pal. Jackass. Just how many cameras did you bring?
使い捨てからデジタル、一眼レフに8ミリビデオ、なんでも来いさ。
What? He was a pro.
お待たせしました。
Damn it, I didn't want to level up. I didn't want to rank up either, but okay. The girls returned about 15 minutes later. Though I had already seen it at the pool, the sight was truly something to behold. More than half of the beach was certainly looking their way. Even so, she looks so good it's scary. And as you can tell, it spells Brim Biru Da.
やっぱり俺様の見立ては完璧だね。
I think your selection may have been a bit too perfect this time.
七味くんも緑葉くんもあまり女の子を弛緩しないように。
Why? It's not just me that'll be oogling.
前かがみになってたりしたら遠慮なく攻撃するからね。
そういうセリフはさ、
Yep, I'm slipping back. Itsuki looked between Mayumi and Primula.
何？
せめてプリマーちゃんを超えてから言おうよ。負けてるでしょ、サイズ。
I'm walking.
リムちゃん、メニュー同盟を結成しましょう。
I'm walking.
浜辺の限定的な視点を私たちで独占よ。
Mayu, that's enough. Itsuki and I went to change too. Time passes.
リー君は泳がないの？
Nah, I'm tired. I'm gonna rest a bit.
リー様、どうぞ。
Nerine handed me a cold can of juice. Thanks. Oh, I was wondering, do they have beaches in the other realms?
ちゃんとあるよ。こことはちょっと変わってるけど。
They're nudist colonies? Different how?
深海の海はこんなにしょっぱくないもん。話には聞いてたけど、びっくり。魔界の海もですね。それから魔界の海には波がないんです。慣れてないせいだと思うんですけど、人間界の海は入るのがちょっと怖いです。
Hearing that makes me think I'd like to try swimming in those kind of oceans.
じゃあ次は行こうよ。穴場があるんだから。
Nice! Let's do it sometime.
レン君だったら大歓迎だし。それもいいですけれど、とりあえずは目の前の海に入りませんか？
She has a point. Hey, I was swimming the whole time up until now.
リー様、健康そうですから大丈夫です。海に来たんですから泳がないともったいないですよ。さあさあ、もう一泳ぎ行きましょう。
Linking arms with me on either side, the two of them stood up energetically. They pulled me to the water's edge. Hey, wait a second! I just want to recover a little more!
海の中で心の回復しよう。回復でしたら後でもできますよ。なんだったら回復呪文かけてあげるけど。
Are you kidding? Even if I collapse, they just bring me back out again. Is this some kind of torture? Water torture?
言いません。
You're having too much fun, aren't you? August 7th. Another Saturday. You know what? Let's just go with it. Normally bustling with students on their way home from school, Komorebi Street looked different during summer vacation. There were students in clubs and those who'd gone to the pool, so it wasn't as though you didn't see anyone in a school uniform. But even so, seeing them was like catching a glimpse of an endangered species. Absently taking in the view, as I walked, I saw a familiar back. The long golden hair that hung straight down over her spine, the mini skirt swishing over her slender legs that moved without a hint of clumsiness. That blonde hair and beautiful walk could only be Kareha! Senpai?
まあ、ミーさん、こんなところでお会いするなんて奇遇ですわね。
Kareha Senpai turned when I called her, clasping her hands happily in front of her chest. Don't see you out alone often, shopping for ingredients for sweets?
いえ、今日は少々違っていまして。実は、そろそろ妹の誕生日なので、そのプレゼントを選ぶに。
You've a sister?
はい。来年にはバーベナ学園に入学予定なんですの。私は今年で卒業なので、一緒に通えないのが残念です。
Senpai for a reason.
よろしければ、1年間面倒見てあげてくださいね。
Of course, if she's your sister. I was sure a lot of the boys would be interested in looking after her. In reality, though, it wasn't public knowledge. Kareha Senpai had her share of fans. There was a fan club too, of course. Even without seeing her sister, it was easy enough to guess what she'd be like. As I tried to imagine what her sister looked like, Kareha Senpai seemed to think of something and peered into my face.
そうですわ。みーさんは本日お時間おありでしょうか。
Me?
はい。
I don't think I have any specific plans.
まあ、でしたら少々お付き合いしていただけませんでしょうか。何を買ったらいいのか、私一人では決めかねていまして。
I'm walking if it's called Victoria's Secret. I swear to God. Not doing that again. Me? I don't think I'll be much help.
それに、先ほどから何度か男性の方々に声をかけられていまして、少々心細かったんですの。
Of course you would be. So that was it. It must have been tough being so beautiful. Kaida had the same problem in sniffing around as soon as she was alone, didn't she? I don't know if I'll be any help in picking out a present, but if you insist.
まあまあ、ありがとうございます。それでは今日一日よろしくお願いいたしますわね。
Of course you would. With a bright smile, Kareha Senpai put her elbow around mine. I felt a soft swell against my arm. Kareha Senpai looked so slender, and yet she wasn't Asa Senpai level, but it certainly was something. Kareha Senpai, your arm?
はい。朝ちゃんが男の方と歩くときにはこうしろと。
You've learned much from her. That little... And wasn't Kareha Senpai too gullible to just unquestionably believe something like that? Yes. Even though I didn't look at her that way at all normally, doing something like this was enough to get me flustered. My heart sped up as though we were on a first date. However, Kareha Senpai, true to form, seemed utterly ignorant of my plight, simply smiling happily.
私、男の方とこうして歩くのって初めてなんです。
I could just imagine, it's like, I'm walking with a girl, and she's totally ignorant of how I'm feeling right now. I'm like, yeah, let's just walk. And I'm just walking, and my head is tilted this way on my left side. I'm like, The more I'm walking, the more I'm just seeing this like, this feels so awkward.
まるでデートみたいですよね。
Again, I can just see myself doing this like, this feels so awkward. And you're just trying to like, glance, still walking forward, glance, walk forward, glance, walk forward, glance. You're not looking at it, but you're just glancing. It's like, and you don't know what to say. You're just like, This kind of naturally innocent, clueless person was really scary. We're in August tip. So you know what? I'm actually going to stop right here. And before I stop, I'm going to drop a save right here. So in the next part, we're going to continue the Nerine route, since we're that close to the end of August. And when we come back, more craziness with Shuffle. So stay tuned. More of this right after this.